In today's Coach's Corner, we are starting a series that is going to help you maximize your efforts with the 5K to Couch Potato app or program. Simply put, we are going to take a minute to take a deeper look at why that program is so effective so that you can maximize your efforts and reduce the probability of you getting injured in the process. All right, let's get going. This series was prompted by a number of questions that I received from the Tri-Cities Women's Athletic Club in Western Michigan. And the first question was from Denise. And Denise wrote, "A lot of us want to begin training for summer runs, but we are starting from zero. Would you recommend the app Couch to 5K, or do you have your own system?" Denise, that's a great question, and I love the fact that you're recognizing that it might not be the best idea to go from zero to superhero, and you're looking for some guidance. The Couch Potato to 5K app or printed program is a great program. Not because it's a magic bullet or there's some secret sauce there, but because it is following and uses 3 proven principles that are in all great athletic development or strength and conditioning programs. And they're principles that are often ignored by someone who just says, I want to go from being a couch potato to being a superhero. And because of that, they end up injured and hurt or discouraged. So what are those 3 principles? Those principles are the understanding of workload, progressive overload, and rest and recovery. So let's take a minute and look at each one of those, and then you'll see very clearly how the Couch Potato to 5K program addresses those and utilizes those. So the first principle we want to cover is the understanding of workload. What is workload? Workload is the stress or the amount of stress that your body is used to handling. So workload equals volume times intensity. And your volume is how much and how often. Your intensity is how hard. So what that would mean is, let's say you decide to jump on an elliptical 3 days a week at a medium intensity. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's say it's a 5. So you jump on that elliptical for 30 minutes. That's part of the volume. How long? 30 minutes. How often? 3 days a week. How hard? A level intensity of 5. So if we take 30, multiply it by 3, and then multiply it by 5, that's going to give us our workload of 450. Now, is that good, bad, indifferent? It doesn't matter. It's a way that we can track what our body is used to, right? Because if you're a couch potato, what's the workload that your body is used to? How often are you training? 0. How long are you training? 0. What intensity? 0. What workload is your body used to? 0. So would it make any sense to do what most people do when they start to get back to exercise? New Year's resolution approach. And that is, I'm going to the gym every day this week. And so they go to the gym for an hour, 60 minutes, 5 days a week. And they're getting in and getting after it. And so they're pushing themselves. And let's say they're at an intensity level of 8. So if we multiply that workload over, right? 60 minutes, 5 days a week, at an intensity level of 8. That's 2,400. Now, 0 to 2,400 doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, does it? No. So when we look at workload, what we want to think about is that stress. Another way that I like to look at it is the Sunburn principle. So let's think of it this way. You ladies are just getting through that wonderful Midwestern winter, and you've been hiding that skin under layers and layers of clothing. Now it's the beginning of March here. Would it make any sense for you to get on a plane and fly down to the Bahamas? It'd probably make a lot of sense. Get away from the kids, enjoy some sunshine, right? But would it make any sense to go out in that sun with 0 sunscreen on and lay there all day? Absolutely not. Why? Because we know what would happen. You would get fried. Your skin was really at a couch potato level, right? It was used to no stress from the sun at all. and then you all of a sudden put a huge stress on it. And we know that's just a making of disaster. However, if you go out and you're enjoying that Michigan spring and slowly getting a little sun, and as the days intense and you spend a few more days out at the beach, by the time July and August comes around, you're out in that deep, intense sun without any ramifications. Why? Because of the next principle that we're going into, progressive overload. Progressive overload, the second major principle that the Couch Potato to 5K program does a good job of implementing into its, 9, 12-week program, whatever it is. Progressive overload is simply a gradual increase of workload over time so that the body has a chance to adapt to the new stress that you're placing on it. And the Couch Potato to 5K program does an excellent job in doing that. It splits your week up simply into 3 different workouts, 3 different runs, but it's stressing the body slightly different on all 3 of them. And it's slowly, over the course of the program, increasing the workload, not only in each workout, but then gradually over each week, so that your body has a chance to slowly adapt to that. And any good program is going to find a way to progressively increase your workload intensity. Now, there's not a one-size-fits-all, right? They're all going to start at a beginning workload. Now, that workload might be too much for you, so you're already going to be falling behind. So you don't want to become a slave to any program, no matter how good or bad it is. Or that workload might be too easy for you, and you're actually not stressing your body at all, or enough, so you're not going to get the gains that you want. This is where art meets science, and if you have any real big questions, always working with a one-on-one with a coach or some other trained professional that really understands where you're at and can make some immediate adaptations is important. But it's a good idea to know, whatever program you choose, to recognize what the Couch to 5K program is doing. It is following that progressive overload in the same way that when it comes to that sunburn principle that we were talking about earlier. It starts off with some mild sun in the spring, and you slowly build up your skin's workload capacity, if you will, of being able to deal with the sun by the end of August by slowly adapting and slowly progressively adding more and more stress. So again, that progressive overload principle is being applied here. But what's also being applied is the third powerful principle, and that is rest and recovery. All right, let's delve into that final principle, rest and recovery, just a little bit more, because this is the one that a lot of people like to skimp out on, right? It's, hey, Hank, I really want to get after this. I want to do it. I'm willing to dedicate everything I have. I'll be there every day. Well, that's not what your body needs right now, right? Because we know if we start doing something too much too quick, we're going to increase our workload way too quick, all right? So the Couch Potato program, what it does is it's 3 simple days, right? That means you have 4 days to rest and to recover. Because let's be clear about what you're doing on your training day, on your run day, whatever day we want to call that. That you are saying, hey, here's normal me. And you're exposing your body to a level of intensity, a level of work that it's not used to. And you're saying, hey, body, can you meet this demand? In the same way, when you go out to sunbathe, you're saying, hey, skin, here you are. I'm going to apply this stress. Can you meet it? And your body goes down into a period of rest and recovery. And this is where the real magic happens. It's down here in the rest and recovery phase. That is where your body is adapting to the stress that you put on it. And it's saying, hey body, what do I need to get better? What do I need to get stronger? So that the next time this stress is applied, it's not so much work. It's not nearly as hard to be able to do. So when you are doing your workout, it's not, that which you do most, you do best. So Hank, if I want to run, I should be running every day. No. What you should be doing is applying a stress to your body up here. And then during that rest and recovery phase, your goal is to give your body as much rest and recovery as it needs so that the next time you apply that stress, your body, you've had a chance to recover, and that next stress load isn't so much. So that's what the Couch Potato to 5K program does. By only giving you 3 days, it gives you plenty of time to make sure that you are fully recovered so that you can apply that next stress. And that's really your goal during that rest and recovery time, is to get your body feeling 100% so that when you go into the next workout, you're ready to go after it, right? You wouldn't go out to the sun and let's say you had a mild burn that time. You wouldn't go the next day immediately back into the sun to try to continue to work on your tan, would you? No. You would say, I've got to wait for my skin to fully recover before I apply another stress. And that's why the rest and recovery portion of any program is so important. So if you want to accelerate that, there's lots of different things that you can do in that recovery phase. And just to name a few, if you want to maybe go to a yoga class or do some stretching on your own, do a nice hot bath, anything that you can do to help to get those muscles to relax and to recover. Again, diet and nutrition is always key factors in not only how well you perform when you're doing your activity, but how quickly and well your body recovers from that. So many things go into recovery. So the stress portion is only part of the game. How well you're able to relax and recover and restore is just as important, right? Look at your kids. Your kids go, 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 go all day. And then boom, they go into full rest and recovery mode. And then as soon as their body feels rested and recover, it's boom, 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 right? And we call it play. Another way to look at it is stress, mental, physical, and emotional stress, that they're out there growing by placing new stress on them. And as we get older, we're no different. Where we're really different is we need more of that rest and recovery. So don't shortchange that. And another key point is to remember, when it comes to that rest and recovery, going back to that progressive overload and the workload principle, don't become a slave to the program. Okay? If you need an extra day to recover so that you can go into your next training event strong and feeling good, do that. There's so many other variables that are coming into, that workload stress. You have a short night's sleep because of a sick kid. You pull a little longer shift at work. Whatever the case may be, all of these other things affect our recovery time. So don't be a slave to the program. Make sure that your body is fully recovered as best you can. Now, there's going to be some muscle soreness and some muscle aches. And that's part of it. But it's really understanding what's the difference between stiffness and soreness you should be expecting versus a low-grade injury that's occurring. And that's what we're going to be getting into over some of these next sessions, is beginning to identify and those types of aches and pains. But more importantly, giving you some tools that are going to accelerate your rest and recovery period so that you can have an enjoyable run the next time out. So we'll see you at the next little series here, where we're going to delve into a little more of how to strengthen that core, how to loosen up the hips, avoid back pain, and accelerate our recovery period so that we can enjoy this process of going from a couch potato to 5K.